act, man. We love him here. Give him a like and sub if you like him. But why wouldn't you like him? Have you seen his delicious jaw? It's so manly and fantastic.
Has finally been announced and revealed to the world. Can you even believe
This is
it?
about the
A new
Switch
Donkey
2
Kong
while we're
3D
upset about it?
platformer, what we haven't
I
seen
think we
in
already know.
25 years. This is a dream come true. This is heaven. I've died and gone to heaven. This new console and all these great new games, it's all going to be available for the low price of what?
Your soul.
What was it?
And it's going to cost $450, $450, $450.
Yeah, they said it might go up for
This is outrageous.
$450 too.
It's unfair.
And that's just for the console itself.
Once I bought a Wii U, I made it run.
Before you say anything,
Played some games
they already said
in
it wasn't
my
because of
time.
tariffs. It's just,
Once I bought a
apparently
Wii
it's just
U,
greed.
Now it's done. Brother, can you spare a Switch?
What's up, everybody? This is the Homeless Man here, and today the great
He does look
gamer
homeless, but
depression
honestly, it
is
kinda
upon
look-
us.
it-
This is my
it
Great
works
Depression
for it.
outfit. I'm going to take it off because it is obnoxiously hot, and not just because I'm the one wearing it. Hey-o. So in a 2-hour-long direct, Nintendo
no, hold on. Very important thing. Where did he get that big old Banjo-Kazooie plush? I need that. I need that on my shelf somewhere. I will make room for it.
In a 2-hour-long direct, Nintendo revealed the Switch 2 and all the different features. They gave us a ton of info on the system, its upgrades, downgrades, those are important.
lot of downgrades.
A few brand new launch titles to look forward to, and a whole bunch of third-party support. 8 years ago, the Switch came out and started a new generation of consoles, and this is the dawn of a new generation. And would you look at that? The next Pokemon game looks like it's running off of a fucking GameCube. A time that should be
Yeah, it
filled
looks
with
awful.
excitement, nerdgasms, if you will. But alas,
Were it so easy.
Nintendo is
Were
asking
it so
you
easy.
to drop $450 on a Switch 2. That is the baseline price for people in the US, though I'm sure it's all fucked up in different countries as well.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness!
Oh, Switch 2 costs $700. Where?
Countries as well.
Switch 2 costs $700 in Norway, and Mario Kart alone is $102. Yikes.
My goodness!
People are understandably frustrated. What? Why? I thought you liked spending money. Don't ever stop consuming. You love consuming. Don't ever stop. But why exactly are gamers upset with the Switch 2 and with these price tags? Is it worth picking up? Do we
wonder.
even know if this will be the final price of the console? Is the price going to increase or decrease?
Increase. It's for sure going to increase.
Why are pre-orders in the US suddenly being delayed? Who's fucking with my video games, god damn it? Now I do want
Nintendo, the same people who are usually doing that.
to give my first impressions of the Switch 2 and talk about some of the more exciting stuff.
Introducing Game Chat. With this feature, you'll be able to communicate with friends and family while playing a game.
And nothing bad will ever happen in game chat.
But we'll have to do that later in the video.
That's basically what's going to happen in game chat. Yep. Especially since they put out a bunch of rage games like Mario Party and Mario Kart.
Because right now we have to talk about the elephant in the room. Because in Nintendo's first live stream after the direct, people were spamming lower the price in chat. Obviously, this is the biggest talking point on the internet for the Switch 2. Not just the $450 price tag, but also, brace yourselves,
Some games, including Mario Kart World, are going to be priced at $80 for the digital edition or $90 if you want to buy it physically.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but aren't most of the physical editions that are coming out just empty cases with codes in them?
Once I bought a GameCube, Luigi's Mansion, Melee, Wind Waker, and Prime. Once I bought a GameCube, now it's done. Brother, can you spare a game?
the $80 cost of a game, a single game. Why are you upset? Why are you upset? You love spending more money. You told me that yesterday, remember? Don't you?
No, we don't. And also, it's spending the same, if not more, as a much higher quality game on an actual console or PC. It's not worth that much. They're just trying to keep up with an industry standard for pricing, but not the industry standard for actual quality.
You know I'm gaslighting you? And this is all besides the other premium stuff and subscriptions Nintendo has been shilling.
That breaks my heart, man. Coliseum and XD Gala Darkness coming, but only for the Switch 2.
In the direct.
Everything's more expensive, right?
Yeah, the accessories are more expensive than they've ever been. The new Pro controller is $80.
a left and right Joy-Con, that's $90 now. They're $13 for the straps.
How are the Joy-Cons $90? That's freaking stupid, man. Like, the magnets do not add that. I understand maybe the technology for the mouse controls they think can drive the price up, but the mouse controls are also awful and being forced.
I'm here for money. Money.
Obviously, a big part of this backlash comes from the fact that Nintendo has always been the accessible, budget-friendly option for gamers. Nintendo may not pack state-of-the-art hardware, but their library is unquestionably top tier. They are the family-friendly brand, the dads and moms. If you're a dad or a mom who've got kids you gotta pay for and take care of and send to school, you're gonna want the cheapest, most convenient thing if you want to retain some
not
semblance
Switch
of
2
those
anymore.
Youthful hobbies you used to have. Look at you becoming a parent. Look at this guy, he reproduced. What a dork. I'm so lonely.
For a lot of families, when they look at $500 for the game of Mario Kart, I think you're gonna have a we have a Nintendo Switch at home situation.
But once Nintendo starts pushing this $80 price tag for these premium Switch 2 games, yar har fiddly dee new piracy techniques are all right with me. Now, if Nintendo is able to get away with these $80, $90 price tags, no doubt Xbox and PlayStation in a competition are going to match that. They're going to adopt these higher price tags for more and more games. I'm not sure if it's 100%.
They're probably going to go above because it's much better quality and much better features. And overall, everything is just better with the console and PC over Switch. And that's why Switch was always the budget-conscious option, because the quality was worse and they don't let their games go to any other places. So you had to buy their games. And to balance that out, it was like, okay, but they're also cheaper because we know they're not as good.
% confirmed that physical copies are going to cost $90, but if true, fuck you. Why? What, you want to have a shelf of games? You want to physically own it so you can look at that shelf and figure out what game to play? No, stupid. You want a digital library of games that you buy that you end up forgetting you have. Despite how cool the console might be, the things I'm seeing that I love about
For the record, Etsy, not Etsy, eBay. That's where I get most of my games. I usually get them used on eBay for less than $20 after someone's already played them, because I don't care unless it's a franchise I absolutely need it for like Borderlands or Pokemon or Final Fantasy or something like that. I don't care. I'm buying it on discount or on sale or on eBay for cheap.
it. Nintendo is kind of shooting themselves in the foot by setting these price precedents. But who is entirely to blame? Because I don't understand this, Nintendo. I don't get you.
I don't get you. Don't get you no more.
Excuse me, Nintendo's biggest fanboy here. Okay, X-Man, gamers are stupid. They don't understand, all right? Adjusted for inflation, this console is cheaper than previous Nintendo consoles. Games are cheaper adjusted for inflation than they were back in the 80s. These gamers are stupid. It doesn't make sense, X-Man.
You know something? You're right.
Video games are a product, like any other, though. They are subject to inflation over time, but most publishers, for a very long time, were too afraid to raise the cost of a brand new game past $60. And it was $65, and then it was $70. But they found ways to monetize games in other ways, which we've talked about maybe once or twice on this channel. And the rest is history. As the co-founder of Costco once said, if you raise the price of the hot dog, I will fucking kill you. This describes the sentiment among—
That man was so based. Yeah, the thing is, like, they're not just monetizing the game, they're raising the price and then also monetizing, and they're doing it with like old games. Like Breath of the Wild's like what, 7 years old, and they're raising it to an $80 price tag. It's freaking stupid.
Among gamers around the $60.
Like, they already acknowledge that it's a Switch 1 case and the copy won't even be in there. It'll just be a code for you to download Breath of the Wild. So what exactly are you paying $80 for?
Price tag. It's kind of something that's just etched into our being. New game comes out. Do I have $60? Like, can I afford it? It's been ingrained in our heads for so long that any increase seems insane. Because we've also been dealing with loot boxes, battle passes, paid progression systems, and a bunch of other shit we don't need to get into. But guys, let's be real. I mean, you know, with GTA 6 around the corner, and I'm sure Rockstar is going to stick with $60 price tag, right?
No.
Why would they increase that? Now, let's put on our economy glasses. So I can make sense of this for you. Let's start with the numbers. I like numbers because they don't lie. Thanks to the user JML Master, he has calculated the inflation-adjusted price for each Nintendo console. And it's really not that crazy. The Switch 2 isn't middle of the road, but it's a little bit higher than that. It's still not the max, and it's not anywhere close to PS5 Pro's, what, $700? So what gives? Well, I'm gonna throw some numbers up on screen of what gives. Basically, adjusted for inflation, the median income of a household in the US has barely gone up since 1985. House prices, meanwhile, have skyrocketed.
Yeah.
What does this mean? It means
Some
people don't
countries
have
more than
disposable
others.
income.
Not enough cash, stranger.
That's why they're pissed. It's pretty simple. When more and more people start living paycheck to paycheck, then non-essentials like video games and hobbies become just that. Non-essential. You will own less and you will be happy. Not to mention the incoming tariff sales tax that we're adding. Why do I have to talk about tariffs? Why can't you just let me be excited for
Well, you don't have to talk about tariffs. Nintendo already came out and said it had nothing to do with tariffs.
a video game console? So it's unfortunate then that real world politics could potentially drive up the cost of the Switch 2, and therefore I have to fucking talk about it. In a worst case scenario estimates I've seen, the cost of the Switch 2 could be increased by 50% by the tariff sales tax. Again, that's probably worst case scenario, but it says something that I feel like I have to prepare for that reality. Now, what has Nintendo done to prepare for these tariffs? Well, thankfully something. At the very least, they've started to stockpile Switch 2 consoles in the US, numbering about 350,000. So at the very least, the Switch
I wonder how many that is after the scalpers get their hands on them.
2s that are in the United States will be sold at the $450 margin, assuming. Some people have theorized that the cost is taking tariff sales tax into account. Upon looking at some recent articles, this is probably more likely, but who really knows what's gonna happen? Nintendo has updated GameStop, saying that they're removing pre-orders for the Switch 2 to assess the potential impact of the tariff sales tax and evolving market conditions.
Oh, I hear Banjo-Kazooie music in the background. I kind of want to play that without him talking now.
This uncertainty is only going to spark further panic and demand once pre-orders are reopened and once consoles are being loaded onto shelves, especially amongst the hardcore Nintendo enthusiasts who would be willing to sacrifice their firstborn child to get one of these things on the release night. With enough panic and demand,
Yeah, but
you know who
why?
comes back?
What are you doing that for? Why do you want to Switch 2 on release night? The only game that's new that's coming out that so many people would be playing would be Mario Kart. And what good is that if everyone else can't also get the Switch 2 and Mario Kart? You don't need to rush to buy that stuff because no one else is also going to have it on launch. Because scalpers.
Everyone's favorite sequel, everyone's favorite businessman, Scalpers 2.
Yeah,
With
see?
uncertainty of how much this is going to cost, it's going to be ripe for the picking for scalpers, I would imagine. So there's another thing to look forward to. So we have no idea if the
Yeah, but people already don't want to pay what they're charging for it. What do you think scalpers are going to be able to get for it?
$450 price tag is going to stick. All we can be certain of is uncertainty. When people are confused, they get angry. It's really that simple. Regardless, this is going to be a bloodbath for people's wallets and bank accounts. I think gamers are more irate this time around because video games have always been an escape. I'm remembered of that Modern Warfare 2 video, how gamers dealt with the recession. And so with so many people already strapped for cash, they feel like they can't even afford the latest and greatest escape from life and reality. So that's most of the bad. Now, let's move on to the Direct itself. I think this is what also
he didn't
makes
even move
it
on to
a
good, he
difficult
moved on
pill
to the
swallow,
Direct
is that
itself.
This new Mario Kart looks fucking amazing, all right? They added skating. What is this? Jet Set Radio Future? What is Tony Hawk gonna be a playable character? And wall jumps in a kart racer? Nintendo always finds ways to innovate on franchises.
Yeah, but it's like
that
nobody else was
You wonder,
wall
like, well, what
jumping,
more
though.
could you do with it? All right, to be fair, I think Nintendo is running out of characters because now we're getting hyped for Cow. But from like Moo Moo Farms. There's a reason Nintendo opened with Mario Kart World. It's because Mario Kart 8
To be fair, they're going to start dipping into the other character wells of the other Nintendo property games. I mean, think about Mario Kart, but you started putting like Link and Pikachu in there. Pikachu has his own little Pika cart. Probably a Jigglypuff cart. I don't know. Banjo-Kazooie. Banjo-Kart-Zooie. There we go. Nailed it.
sold
Watch to the end for a discount code to
No,
restreams, upload, and
I
stream.
would not be doing
Being
that.
a content creator.
Thank you, though.
75 million copies. No doubt, Mario Kart World is going to be a Switch 2 exclusive to drive sales to the console. It's a good strategy. The maps look great. The idea of being able to go off the track and race to the next race and just fuck around with your buddies, that's very appealing to me. Mario Kart World looks like...
Yeah, but the point of it is that a bunch of other people also have to own it for you to be playing it against them. And with the scalpers and the pricing, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. It's tough to launch your console with a game that requires other people to own the console and game when you've overpriced it, and hopefully they accounted for scalpers, otherwise it's going to bomb.
Like a big W. What's next?
Introducing Game Chat.
It has taken Nintendo 23 years to catch up to Xbox Live. Nintendo is such a weird company because they're always behind on some trends, but way ahead of the curve on others. They're always at the peak of their video game development prowess, but when it comes to like something like voice chat, they're like, well, how does this work? Again, that family-friendly brand image, well, you know, voice chat on a Nintendo console, what could go wrong?
I live in Smethwick, Birmingham. If you want the fucking brawl, come down to Smethwick Hospitality.
Also, if any of you guys remember like how the DS worked with the like Picto chat or something like that, and then just also voice chat that you can talk to anybody who's nearby. That's just your kid being able to talk to anybody who's in the neighborhood.
I'll come out my house and I'll break your fucking legs.
I love how Nintendo always introduces these social features in the most like whimsical, childlike, innocent way. And meanwhile, I'm like crippled by years of Xbox Live PTSD. So here's the bad news. You're gonna have to pay to use Game Chat. Now, I'll give them credit. Game Chat looks like it has much more applicability than something like Discord would have, where you can actually, like in Mario Party, see the expressions, the facial expressions of your friends as you fuck them in the ass and steal their stars. That's gonna be highly important to me as a huge piece of shit. So on top of the $450, $80 for the game, now they want you to pay a subscription fee to play the game online and to be able to use Game Chat. 2 separate subscriptions. I will say having a 10-month free period is
It's a
great.
completely separate one. Wait, you don't have to just pay for Nintendo Online, you also have to pay for Game Chat on top of it? I thought it was the same thing.
Subscriptions. I will say having a 10-month free period is great.
And there's this.
Okay, well,
I will say
I need you to go back.
play the game online and to be able to use Game Chat. 2 separate subscriptions.
That's 2 different
I will
subscriptions.
say having a 10-month free period is great.
And there's this.
What is it? That stench. I've smelled it before.
Your voice is recognized by a microphone built into the system. It can pick up your speaking voice clearly, even from a distance.
They are bringing the Kinect back. You know what that means? It means you and your friends are going to be witnessing god-tier levels of echo.
When it's noisy around you, your voice will still
Impossible.
come through
That is
clearly.
freaking impossible.
Bullshit. Ain't no way Nintendo is coming into the voice game chat this late and it's just gonna work. What Switch 2 screen share will look like? Yeah, probably. The fact that they're showing the screen share be a bit laggy indicates that that's probably
Yeah, the people trying to sell this to you showed this, which means it's going to be way worse.
what it's gonna look like, as opposed to, you know, having it look perfect in this presentation with the smoke and mirrors, and then people buy the console, they use the screen share, and it looks like shit. But this whole camera feed thing, I feel like is absolutely going to create some viral marketing for the Switch camera. So what I like about the Switch 2 is that Nintendo is refining their original concept and making genuine improvements in pretty much every way. From 120 FPS on handheld, that's kind of nutty. I think we're past the era of game consoles making these huge graphical leaps with new generations, but the Switch performed obnoxiously well despite how underpowered it was compared to the Series X and PS5.
That's because they made
everything
simple,
from
fun
like
games.
the size of buttons to the magnetic
And the worst
grips,
part about this
microphones.
is Pokemon will absolutely not keep up. They will not get better. They will not make better games. They will not try harder. They will keep making the same crap, despite the fact that they have a lot more to work with, because they're way too lazy. They've all but given up improving the series.
Used to fuck up and couldn't connect on the sides, so and Joy-Cons that can be used as a mouse. It's gimmicky stuff like this that really is gonna make for some hilarious Mario Party minigames.
My current location is actually inside the game itself.
Oh, this is so bad. I can't believe they're selling the tutorial as a game. They're just, hey, if you want to learn about the Switch, pay us money to learn about the Switch too.
Then there's Nintendo Switch Welcome Tour. It's Miiverse 2.0, my god. But it seems to be playing off of like Astro's Playroom, which was a great game and a fun tech showcase.
Yeah, this doesn't even look like a game.
Are
This
you
looks
a
like
fan of
garbage.
all things secondhand?
It just looks like you're inside of an operation manual that you had to buy.
For the PS5, and guess what? That was free. This is not. What? But this doesn't even look like a video game.
You get to pay
it
for
looks
it,
like
and
a
it's not
series
fun.
of tutorials. Why would I pay for this? Like, come on, man. Give us a free game with the console if you're gonna charge $80. Give us a free game or two. Like, remember Wii Sports? It came with the console. I do think it's cool that the mouse controller stuff seems like they're still utilizing that old Wii remote functionality, but it's cool. Now it looks like they're also doing upgrade games. You know what Sony is doing with the PS5, where they're reselling the same game, but you know, maybe a little upgrade fee for some pretty minute.
No, but a lot of the games that they and Xbox have been upgrading has been completely free for the upgrades. Some of them you pay for, but it's like really, really cheap. But most of them have been free. I know because I got some of them. The Fallout 4 one was free. The Cyberpunk one, I think, was free. Yeah, it was free because I got it. I wouldn't have paid for it. The Witcher 3 one was free.
Improvements. These are not all that impressive to me.
It's
Metroid
not.
Prime 4. Oh my god, finally. Another game we can talk about that we're actually excited for. Metroid fans have been eating like kings recently, and Prime 4 is likely going to be no exception. It's definitely the right call to release this on Switch and Switch 2, since it was announced before the Switch 2. Feel like a real slap in the dick if it were otherwise. I'm hyped for this. Pokemon Legends. Well, it's a massive improvement from Scarlet and Violet, which, you know, looked a little worse than N64 games. But Pokemon has finally gotten to GameCube level quality. Are you
No, it's not. It's not. It's,
not
it's
impressed
so
at
bad.
all with Pokemon. Then there was this oddball announcement for wheelchair robot basketball. Give it to me.
That looks so
The sports
slow.
genre side of gaming has been so static, repetitive, and boring for years. We need stuff like NBA Jam or NFL Blitz or wheelchair basketball or Rocket League. This looks fun. On top of this,
It does not
Nintendo
look
is
fun.
partnering with a ton of third-party studios to bring games like Hogwarts Legacy, Elden Ring, Street Fighter 6, Hades.
Which all looked so much worse than any other version you can get on console or PC. But you can pay full price for it. In some cases, actually, I feel like a lot of these cases, you're probably going to end up paying more than what you actually paid for them. Because I remember very clearly paying about $60 for some of these games, and now you get to pay $80. Good for you. For
to
old
the Switch 2.
games.
Also, I did not realize that Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and 4 were getting remade because it doesn't say it's a remake in the title there.
Okay, this made me really happy, the GameCube thing, and then the follow-up
Yes,
made me
the
really mad.
long-coveted GameCube emulator, which you can access for free using certain means. Do you like dolphins? I like dolphins. Oh, Soul Calibur.
It's Dolphin Emulator. It's Dolphin Emulator. I'm sure they are not just shoving somebody else's emulator in the Switch, which they absolutely are. That's how you're going to play the GameCube games. The GameCube games are going to be played on an emulator they just stole from somebody else and put in their system.
2? Okay, I fucks with that.
Get ready to experience F-Zero GX.
Could it be? An F-Zero acknowledgement after so many years. F-Zero GX. So this is a pretty decent lineup for the GameCube emulator. What would be interesting to see is if we'll be able to play these games online. Oh my god! To close out the show, Nintendo dropped...
Can we play them on the Switch, or do we have to have a Switch 2 to play these? Better be I can play the Pokemon games on the Switch.
3 bombshells.
I'll be
Dusk
very
Bloods,
upset
a
because
new game-
Coliseum and XT Gale of Darkness are the every time we go into a Nintendo Direct or a Pokemon Direct, that's one of the 3 things I always say I want. I want XT Gale of Darkness and Coliseum either online where I can play them on the Switch, or maybe remakes or remasters entirely.
Game from Software. People are calling it Bloodborne 2, and it looks incredible. And Kirby Air Riders. Unexpected. Sakurai is directing it. There's a lot of racing games
Yeah, why are they releasing so many racing games to compete against each other?
showed off in this direct. But Kirby Air Ride always felt like such an incredibly fun game that just didn't have a whole lot of content at the end of the day. That game truly deserved a sequel, and I'm happy to see that it's getting one. But now it's time for the
Hopefully
big
it's
bananas.
good.
The big,
It doesn't
big
get buried by
bananas.
the other racing games.
Oh my fucking god!
This game looks like it's going to be the Mario Odyssey of Donkey Kong games. Just the
It
way
does
you
look
can
good, though.
break the map.
I don't
and
understand
destroy
the
it and
pants and the spiky fur, but
become a monkey. I don't know what you want me to say. It just, this looks like they're bridging the gap between Donkey Kong 64 and all the recent Donkey Kong Country games, which I could not be more excited for. But where is Diddy? Where is Diddy? No, not him. Also, I like how they
Wrong
showed
one.
just like 3
Wrong one.
seconds of Silk Song after people have been losing their minds waiting for it. So here's where I'm at with Switch 2. The games look great. The improvements to the console itself are much appreciated. That stuff is important to me. But the increased price of games over time is going to add up, and I'm worried about that.
And the
Why
system.
are gamers upset with
It
the
doesn't
Switch 2?
justify
Well,
the
it's
price.
a combination of things, but it's pretty simple. Money. Like I said, folks in the US don't have a whole lot of disposable income right now. And when times are tough, everybody needs an escape. If you can afford that escape, but if you can't, then you're just shit out
there
of
are
luck.
other
The
escapes.
people feel
Like, I don't know, PC gaming where you can get everything a lot cheaper and there's emulators everywhere. And also, I recently discovered how fun mods are for games. I'm excited for that.
like they can't even afford to escape. And that's a pretty worrying sign. And it's not so much a statement about Nintendo's prices, but rather the cost of living that people are dealing with. I thought the presentation was fun, colorful, creative. There's a lot of things to be excited for, but Nintendo is certainly making some questionable choices, and we'll see how it plays out. But those are my thoughts on the Switch 2
I imagine
Direct.
not super.
What do you think? Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed it and subscribe to the Act Man.
Yeah, go ahead and subscribe to Act Man. You deserve Act Man in your life. Also, let me know down below if you're gonna buy it, and why. I would love to know the reasoning behind that, because I couldn't wrap my head around it. All right, let's watch this thing on South at midnight now that we're halfway through it. All right, catch you later, YouTube. Stay safe and stay hydrated. It's very important, especially with summer coming up if you are in the U.S. or Canada. Catch you later. Mwah.